It all started not with the blockbuster, but with a whisper, a flicker of light on a dusty wall, a strip of celluloid run through a hand-cranked camera, and a handful of dreamers chasing sunlit fantasies. The place? A quiet little corner of California called Hollywood. The time? Just after the turn of the 20th century. Back then, the East Coast dominated film production. Thomas Edison's patents loomed over the fledgling motion picture business like a thundercloud. So independent filmmakers fled west, to a sleepy village near Los Angeles where the weather was perfect, the scenery was diverse, and the legal reach of Edison's motion picture patents company was limited. The first film shot in Hollywood was in Old California in 1910, directed by D.W. Griffith. Just one reel, just 17 minutes, but it was the matchstick that sparked a wildfire. By the 1920s, the Hollywood Hills echoed with the clatter of typewriters and the buzz of sound stages. The Big Five, Paramount, MGM, Warner Bros., 20th Century Fox, and RKO ruled the roost. Backlots became miniature cities. Directors wore jodhpurs like generals. Stars were groomed like royalty. And oh, the stars. Greta Garbo with her sultry silence. Clara Bow, the it girl. Douglas Fairbanks leaping over castle walls. Rudolph Valentino making hearts flutter with a single gaze. These weren't just actors, they were icons, sculpted by the studio system and projected 20 feet high into America's collective imagination. Then came 1927, The Jazz Singer, the first feature-length talkie. Audiences were floored. "You ain't heard nothing yet," said Al Jolson, and he was right. Sound changed everything. Studios scrambled to outfit stages with microphones. Some silent stars couldn't transition, but others, like James Cagney and Bette Davis, embraced the microphone and built empires on their voices. Hollywood strutted into the 1930s and 40s like a silver screen titan, the golden age of cinema. Films like Gone with the Wind, The Wizard of Oz, Casablanca, and Citizen Kane weren't just movies, they were events. Cinematic cathedrals to storytelling and spectacle. Directors like Frank Capra, John Ford, and Howard Hawks mastered their craft. Composers like Max Steiner and Bernard Herrmann turned scores into symphonies. Even war couldn't dim the Klieg lights. During World War II, Hollywood supported the war effort with patriotic films and star-studded USO tours. Jimmy Stewart flew combat missions. Marlene Dietrich entertained the troops. Film became both a weapon and a comfort. Post-war brought change. The Paramount Decree of 1948 forced studios to divest their theaters, ending vertical integration. Television crept into living rooms and lured audiences away from the theaters. But Hollywood adapted. Widescreen formats, 3D experiments, color innovations. Epics like Ben-Hur and Lawrence of Arabia tried to remind viewers that movies were larger than life. By the 1960s and 70s, a new wave surged in. The studio system weakened. Auteurs rose. Directors like Martin Scorsese, Taxi Driver, Francis Ford Coppola, The Godfather, Stanley Kubrick, 2001: A Space Odyssey, and Robert Altman, Nashville, redefined cinema with bold, personal, often gritty visions. They made movies their way, and audiences followed. Then came the blockbusters. Spielberg's Jaws, 1975, rewrote the rules. Lucas's Star Wars, 1977, changed the game entirely. Suddenly, summer became the season of spectacle. Merchandising exploded. Special effects grew more ambitious. Hollywood wasn't just a town anymore, it was a machine. And the whole world wanted in. The 80s and 90s were boom years. Stars shone like comets. Tom Cruise running in every movie, Julia Roberts lighting up rom-coms, Denzel Washington balancing gravitas with fire. Directors like James Cameron, Titanic, Terminator 2, Ridley Scott, Gladiator, and the Coen brothers, Fargo and The Big Lebowski, mixed commerce with art. Quentin Tarantino, a video store clerk turned screenwriter savant, exploded onto the scene with Pulp Fiction, reshaping indie cinema overnight. Then, the 21st century dawned, and with it, a digital revolution. Celluloid gave way to digital cameras. Film reels became data files. Theaters installed digital projectors, and CGI opened new universes. Peter Jackson brought Tolkien's world to life. Christopher Nolan bent time and space in Inception. Marvel Studios created the cinematic universe to end all universes, with Kevin Feige orchestrating a saga that drew billions and turned Iron Man, Thor, and Black Panther into global household names. Actors? Oh, they've changed too, but the stardust remains. From Meryl Streep to Leonardo DiCaprio, Viola Davis to Timothée Chalamet, Hollywood has remained a crucible of talent. Zendaya, Florence Pugh, and Jonathan Majors now walk the same starry paths once trod by Hepburn and Brando. And behind the camera, a new guard rises. Greta Gerwig made Barbie a billion-dollar pink spectacle with subversive brains. Jordan Peele reinvented horror with Get Out and Nope. Chloe Zhao won the Oscar for Nomadland, showcasing an indie soul in a blockbuster world. Ava DuVernay, Barry Jenkins, and Ryan Coogler tell stories that matter, expanding what Hollywood represents and who it represents. Yes, the industry has faced reckonings. #MeToo, streaming wars, strikes over AI and fair pay. But Hollywood listens, adapts, reinvents. Always has, always will. Because in the end, no matter the format, platform, or budget, it all comes back to the same thing. Storytelling. The flicker in the dark, the gasp in the crowd, the belief, however fleeting, that we are somewhere else, someone else, just for a little while. Hollywood was built on dreams, and though the skyline may change, the dreams do not. From Vine Street to virtual sets, from Chaplin's Cane to Wakanda Forever, the story of Hollywood is the story of cinema. And that story, it's still being written.